Breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. Reaction as Ipob finally exposes Abubakar Malami after he said this about Nnamdi Kanu. Reaction as Ipob finally exposes Abubakar Malami after he said this about Nnamdi Kanu. To my dear listeners, from wherever you listen from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. Abubakar Malami, Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, came under fire for the indigenous people of Biafra on Tuesday for saying that Igbo governors would decide whether or not their leader, Nnamdi Kanu, should be released unconditionally. The indigenous people of Biafra claimed that the governors were more intelligent than Malami and wouldn't fall for his pranks. The group asserted that the federal government and Malami's positions were part of a larger scheme to turn the nation into a refuge for terrorists, and that it was necessary for the authorities to follow the court ruling that liberated its leader, Kanu. Immer Powerful, the organization's director of media and publicity, made this claim in a statement on Tuesday that was made accessible to the Punch. The statement read, "The unintelligent, shameful, and incoherent statement credited to the Attorney General, Alhaji Abubakar Malami, to the effect that the Igbo governors and politicians will decide whether Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be released unconditionally, have drawn the attention of the global movement and family of the indigenous people of Biafra under the leadership and command of the great liberator and prophet Mazi Nnamdi Kanu." What a ridiculous comment from the Nigerian Attorney General, a son who really ought to know better. Ipob thinks that Igbo governors and politicians, Malami, wants to use as a panel to examine the decision of a court of competent jurisdiction. The Court of Appeal are aware of the AGF's plot and bad intentions and won't be duped by its Greek poison, disguised as making them significant. Ipob can assert with confidence that these governors and politicians are smarter than the Attorney General and Minister of Justice of the Federation who support the Fulani quota system. In an effort to place the blame for the ongoing illegal detention of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra on the governors and politicians of Southeast origin, the government that sponsors the Fulani terrorists believes that its strategy of divide and conquer would succeed this time. It won't be successful for them to further complicate Igbo land and cause uncertainty. We won't stand by and let them abuse our people once more. To determine whether Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our leader, will be released unconditionally or not after the appeal court, the second highest of competent jurisdiction, has already rendered a well-reasoned decision. Ipob wants to know when Igbo governors and politicians in Nigeria became a court of superior mandate. The intention to replace and close that avenue by attempting to implicate governors and politicians of Southeast Asian descent can be attributed to Malami's apparent lack of ability to approach the Supreme Court now. The aeroplane turner is no longer in command. Malami and the APC government must free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu immediately and without conditions, as ordered by the appeal court and suggested by the UN Human Rights Working Group, as it did not break any laws under local or international laws. Malami has been releasing terrorists from prison without bringing them before a court, according to the statement, but they have chosen to play the role of a demonic god by attempting to disobey and disregard the Court of Appeal decision, just as it has disregarded the ruling of the UN Human Rights Working Group. Abubakar Malami, Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, came under fire from the indigenous people of Biafra on Tuesday for saying that Igbo governors would decide whether or not their leader, Nnamdi Kanu, should be released unconditionally. The indigenous people of Biafra claimed that the governors were more intelligent than Malami and wouldn't fall for his pranks. To my dear listeners, from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news.